Recently, I was in Sri Lanka, and to put a long story short, I didn't really like it. But I'm gonna be a little objective for the purposes of this video, and I'm gonna talk about what my thoughts are on Sri Lanka. In general, Colombo city, I think, is fairly clean. It has a cozy-ish vibe to it. If you are going there from India, you would feel that it is a lot less chaotic. There are fewer people. It's generally cleaner. People are nicer, and in that sense, it has a very cozy vibe. I think some of the cafes there are amazing. The coffee is amazing. It's also known for its tea. I didn't try that, but there are options there. Alcohol is also available, a lot more easily available than, say, in other parts of South Asia. So in that cultural sense, Sri Lanka is sort of laid back. You also have the beaches at Colombo. You have this wildlife sort of exposure as well. So it has things going for it. It can be quite rainy there. Um, there's not a lot to say, honestly. What I would say though is that in terms of economics and politics, it's a bit of a challenge to be in this country. Now, economically, it could be a bit of a blessing. Why is that? Because their currency has dropped quite a bit, and if we're talking Indian rupees to Sri Lankan rupees, we're looking at the range of 3.5 to 3.8 as a conversion rate. In US dollars, that's about 250 to 300, 300, closer to 300 actually. So there's a lot of currency fluctuation, and it has dropped over the years because of political challenges that they faced and economic repercussions due to those policies that were put in place a few years ago in that country. Now, as an expat or as a digital nomad, more specifically, you can actually have quite a good time in Sri Lanka. I feel because of the purchasing power that you would enjoy, Sri Lanka and specifically Colombo can actually be a really good place to spend a couple of months in. It will definitely be light on your pocket, that's for sure. Beware of certain places like the airport, where they have fixed prices at USD. Kind of reminded me of Turkey, where they're also willing to take any currency other than their own. They're very happy to take anything other than Turkish lira. Similarly, in Sri Lanka, if you offer US dollars, if you offer Canadian dollars, if you offer Indian rupees at many places, they're more than happy to take it. Not to the extent I would say you would see in Turkey. In Turkey, it seems like almost every other establishment is ready to take any currency. But in Sri Lanka, it's slightly more restricted to certain currencies, and it also really depends on where you're going. You will need your Sri Lankan rupees. It's not like Turkey where you could probably survive even without Turkish liras. So definitely carry some Sri Lankan rupees with you. But in general, the US dollar has high acceptability. Many places will also accept Indian rupees, and all of that is because of the conversion rates. Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, all of that would work, but not at local shops, not at small establishments, and that's why I recommend carrying those Sri Lankan rupees as well. So it's economically it can be good as a digital nomad. Long term, it's not a place I see myself staying, at least that's for sure. That being said, it's better than a lot of different parts of India. I actually think just Colombo city is probably better than Goa, in terms of the lifestyle and whatnot. Goa can be pretty good, but it's just something about how India maintains its cities, its roads, its streets, versus how other countries do it. And Sri Lanka, having a smaller population, is able to deal a lot better with its urban environment. I also felt like certain things in Colombo were a bit more standardized to global standards. Still very similar to India, but things like groceries, right? Like the way the chain is laid out, the way things are, or the way certain coffee shops are, they're more in line with how establishments are globally. And I think the same way of the Philippines. I think the same way of Thailand. But I don't think that India or Vietnam or certain other countries are falling in line with that global practice. So I think when you come to a country like Sri Lanka, if you've been exposed to Western countries, to Singapore, to Philippines, to certain other countries, you won't have much of a challenge. Um, Even as an Indian, I would say for short-term travels, it's great. Long-term, it will take some adjusting to. It is helpful if you learn a bit of Sinhalese, but that being said, English is widely spoken, widely understood, and it's really easy to go around in Colombo and in Sri Lanka.